Good morning, Mr. Markus and friends. In this video, my friends and I, Alvita, and Priska, will explain you about education management standard. First of all, definition of education management standards is criteria for planning, implementing, and supervising educational activities at the education unit, district or city, provincial or national level in order to achieve efficiency and effectiveness of education delivery. We use lampiran Peraturan Menteri Pendidikan Nasional Nomor 19 Tahun 2007, tanggal 23 Mei 2007 tentang Standar Pengelolaan Pendidikan oleh Satuan Pendidikan Dasar Menengah. For explain you about educational management standard. A. Program planning. The first one is vision of the school or madrasah. School or madrasah formulates and sets a vision and develops it. Vision of the school madrasah consists of met as a common goal, able to provide inspiration, motivation, and strength, formulated based on input from various parties, decided by the board of educators, socialized to school residents, and the last one is periodically reviewed. The second one is mission of the school or madrasah. School or madrasah formulate and define mission and develop them. Mission of the school madrasah consists of provide direction in realizing the vision, is a goal that will be achieved within a certain time, become the basis of the main school or madrasah programs, emphasize service quality, contains general and special statement, provides flexibility and space, formulate based on input from various parties, associate with the school community, and the last one is reviewed regularly. The third is purpose of school or madrasah. School or madrasah formulates and sets goals and develops them. And purpose of school madrasah consists of describe the level of quality that need to be achieved, refers to the vision, mission, and goals of national education, and it's relevant to the needs of the society. The third one is refers to the competency standards of regrades. The fourth, accommodating input and various parties, and the last one is socialized to school or madrasah residents. Fourth is school or madrasah work plan. The A is school madrasah make medium-term work plan that describe the goals to be achieved, and the second is annual work plan state in the school or madrasah activities plan and budget. In B, midterm and annual work plans. It consists approved by the boards of educators and set out in an easy-to-read document. C is the 4 years and annual work plans are approved with the approval of a board meeting of educators. The C is the annual work plan is used as the basis for school or madrasah management. D, the annual work plan contains clear provision regarding students, curriculum and learning activities, educators and education staff and developers, facilities and infrastructure, finance and financing, school culture and environment, community participation and partnership, and the last one is other work plans.
Now we will talk about curriculum and learning activities. A. Curriculum tingkat satuan pendidikan or KTSP. The preparation of KTSP takes into the account standards of graduates, content standards, and implementing regulations. Schools or madrasah prepare KTSP. Each teacher is responsible for compiling a syllabus for each subject teaching according to content standards, graduate competency standards, and guidelines for preparing KTSP. B. Educational calendar. Schools or madrasah compile an educational or academic calendar which includes learning schedules, tests, exams, and holiday. The preparation of an educational or academic calendar is based on content standards. C. Learning programs. The quality of learning in schools or madrasah is developed by involving students actively, democratically, educating, motivating, and encouraging activity. The schools or madrasah principal is responsible for learning in accordance with the regulations set by the government. D. Assessment of students' learning outcomes. All learning outcomes assessment programs are socialized to teachers. Assessment includes all competencies and material taught. E. Academic regulations. Academic regulations are decided by a board meeting of educators and set by the principal. Academic regulations contain student attendance requirements to take lessons and assignment from the teacher, provision regarding tests, remedials, exams, class promotion, and graduation. 6. Educators and education personnel. Teachers carry out their duties and responsibilities as learning agents who motivate, facilitate, educate, and guide students so that they become qualified humans. Schools or madrasah need to support efforts to place educational personnel according to the needs of both the number and qualifications. Educators and education personnel empowerment programs are prepared by taking into account the standards of educators and education personnel and are developed in accordance with the condition of the school or madrasah.
Facilities and infrastructure. Rules and regulations regarding the library, laboratory, and any physical facilities for extracurricular activities is also regulated within the Facility and Infrastructure Program. Schools or madrasah prepare investment and operational cost management guidelines referring to the financing standards. The guidelines regulate source of income, expenditure, total fund managed, budget preparation, distribution, fundraising, authority and responsibility of the principal in spending the educational budget, bookkeeping of all revenues and expenditures, along with the use of budget to be reported to the school community or institution above. The guideline is decided by school or madrasah committee and set by the principal after being approved by the institution above. The guidelines are disseminated to all school or madrasah members to ensure transparency and accountability of the fund management. In order to conserve the duration, we will only describe our all general understanding towards this topic below. School or madrasah create an atmosphere, climate, and educational environment that is conducive to efficient learning and implementation of procedures. So, in order to achieve such condition, the principal of school or madrasah establish disciplinary guidelines for all school members regarding the discipline, ethical and social norm, and also religious norm. The code of conduct is decided by the board meeting of educators and set by the principal. School or madrasah involves the community and community who supports the school or madrasah in managing education. The purpose is to ensure involvement of the community members in academic management, which is limited to certain activities, and collaboration with relevant institutions in relation to the output, process, output, and outcome of the graduates, establish partnership with higher educational institutions, as well as the business and industrial worlds, and the last, the partnership system is stipulated by a written agreement. Now we move to supervision and evaluation. The supervision program is based on national education standards and applied to all educators and education personnel. The program includes monitoring, supervision, evaluation, reporting, and follow-up on the results of the supervision. Monitoring is carried out by the school committees or other representative institutions to assess management efficiency, effectiveness, and accountability. Supervision of academic management is carried out regularly and continuously by the principal and supervisor. Teacher reports the result of evaluation and assessment at least at the end of semester, addressed to the principal and parents or guardians of the students. Educational personnel reported the technical implementation of individual tasks at least at the end of each semester, addressed to the head of the school or madrasah. Principal continuously supervise the implementation of educational personnel duties. Principal reports the result of school evaluation to the school or madrasah committee or other related parties at least at the end of each semester. School supervisor report the results of supervision to the region or mayor through district or city education office after being confirmed with the relevant school. Madrasah supervisor report the result of supervision to the district or city department of religion after being confirmed with the relevant madrasah. Every party that receives reports on the result supervision follows up the report on the result in order to improve the quality of institution. Including imposing sanction for irregularities found. School or madrasah documents and use the result of monitoring, supervision, evaluation, and reporting, as well as follow-up notes to improve the performance in learning and overall management. Next, we have self-evaluation, conducting self-evaluation towards the performance of the institution. Prioritize indicators to measure, assess, and make improvement in implementation of national education standard. And then implements periodic evaluation of the learning process at least twice a year, and periodic evaluation of the annual work program at least once a year, and self-evaluation is carried out periodically based on the valid data and information. 3. Evaluation and development of KTSP. The process is carried out in comprehensive and flexible in adapting to the advancement of science and technology, periodical response to the change of needs regarding the students, society, education system, and social change, and comprehensively involves various parties including boards of education, committee, graduate users, and alumni. Number 4, we have evaluation of educators and educational personnel utilization. Plan comprehensively at the end of each semester by referring to the standards of educators and education personnel, includes suitability with the expertise, workload balance, and performance of educators and educational personnel on performing their duties. The evaluation is considered with the achievement and changes of the students. Number 5, we have school or madrasah accreditation. School or madrasah prepares the materials needed to take part in accreditation according to the law and regulation, and then improve the accreditation status using the legitimate external accreditation bodies. And then the school or madrasah continuously improve the quality of the institution in a holistic manner by following the suggestions resulting from the accreditation. And then we move to school or madrasah leadership. This mainly describes the authority and responsibility inside the leadership within school or madrasah as educational institution. You can find out more from our reference below or simply pause the video to find out more about school or madrasah leadership. We are only going to discuss about the first 4 points to conserve the duration. So each school or madrasah is led by principal. The criteria for becoming the head and deputy principal of school or madrasah are based on the provisions in the standards of educators and educational personnel. The principals of MTS, SMP, SMPLB are assisted by at least one deputy principal, while the principals of SMA or MA are assisted by at least 3 deputy principals of school or madrasah for academics, infrastructure, and student affairs. Meanwhile, the head of SMK is assisted by 4 deputy principals for academics, infrastructure, or student affairs, and also the business and industrial relations. And then we have management information system. School or madrasah is required to manage an adequate management information system to support effective, efficient, and accountable education administration, which provides efficient, effective, and easily accessible information facilities for all of the school members, including parents, public or environment, district or city education office, to serve information, form complaints, and data report. Last but not least, the specific assessment. The existence of school or madrasah whose management does not refer to the standards of national education can obtain government recognition on the basis of recommendation from BSNP. We have reached the end of our video. Thank you guys for listening to our presentation. We hope that you can get better understanding towards the topic. Any suggestion, correction, or question regarding the topics, just put it down below guys, feel free. And then, I think that's all. Thank you guys, stay safe. Bye for now. If you are interested in school management, you can check on our lecturer's channel to find more videos related to the topic. You can check it on the description down below.